Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Fuzzbucket. This was a single episode TV show, single episode of the anthology Magical World of Disney from back in the 80s. This is 1986. It's about 46 minutes long or so. What do you think? 46. Yes, 46. That's really important information you need to know. But no, besides that, I mean, again, it's a regular TV episode, and it doesn't get to delve into a whole epic movie spectacle, but it borrows from a ton of other movies without it having that much of an emotional investment put in between the two main characters, which is Mikey and Fuzzbucket, who is invisible for the good 3/4 of those 45 minutes. Actually, well, let's say 2/3. Let's say 2/3. We start off with a story of just a boy talking to himself in his treehouse, and he's questioning why this invisible creature, who he hasn't seen but somehow has the name Fuzzbucket, and he can hear him too. Nobody else can hear him. Why can he hear him? Why is he invisible? It came out in a conversation between them, but it made no sense. And why would he be going to him rather than, say, scientists or something who might be able to figure out what's the problem? Well, normally we know what scientists would do if they found out what a creature like Fuzzbucket, which you can see here a little bit of spoilerish of what he looks like. He looks like a Fuzzbucket. He looks like the abomination between a human and like a possum got together and had some fun. And yeah, it's he's just really creepy, weird. Once he becomes physical and visible, he speaks with a. It feels like it's almost a racist mix of Irish, Chinese, and Jar Jar Binks, sprinkled in with a little Yoda, but not as wise sounding. He's meant to be like the E.T. Or the pre-Get Wet or After Midnight Gremlin that, from those movies. John Landis has a hand in this movie, by the way. So I think he produced it, I think. He didn't write or direct it. It's written and directed by one guy. What's his name? Mark Garris. Yes, Mark Garris. By the way, I'm going to have to list some names here. The principal, who normally is played by, he's played by John Vernon. And John Vernon, if you know that name, he's usually the military type, the authoritarian figure in just about any 80s movie. He was, or from 70s or 60s, whatever. But he's a classic character actor. You'd know him from Animal House and I think The Good, Bad, the Ugly. He's all over, and he's done a ton of Disney stuff. He was in the Herbie movies, one of the older Herbie movies we saw a couple of weeks or months ago. Herbie Goes Bananas. I think he was a bad guy in that one. So yeah, or one of the bad guys in that one. We also have Joe. I gotta say his name right. Rigobuto. He's Frank on Murphy Brown, if you know that show. He plays Mikey's dad. And but the guy who plays Fuzzbucket is Phil Fondacaro. I'm not sure, but I did a little reading up on him just because he's a little person actor who he started out in Under the Rainbow. He's been in Willow. He was the Troll in the Troll movies. He's a lot of experience. He's a veteran actor. He's got a lot of roles, and of course, often in costume as and also as a Fuzzbucket this time. His Fuzzbucket. My disparaging depiction of Fuzzbucket earlier has nothing to do with the actor himself. Whatever it was a choice by the production, I'm sure. It just comes off as just a little weird. I'm not sure why this boy is in love with this creature. Again, the whole premise of the film is that TV episode, is that he's a boy who's about to enter junior high, and he's really nervous about school. So he appears to have an imaginary friend that he talks to all the time, and believes is tickling him sometimes, and people will look at him like he's crazy, and he gets decent guidance from people, eventually to the point where he realizes he doesn't really have to fight against them. He just has to go, hey, look, I'm okay, and they leave him alone until he starts acting up again and talking to Fuzzbucket in public, and they're all just like, oh, what are we going to do with this kid? Eventually, he somehow finds a way to make him visible. I'm not going to tell you how. You have to see it. And when he does make him visible, it is straight out of a horror film. It's like a bad special effect horror film. It is. Let's just say, imagine being made visible from the inside out. And this appeared on Disney. The Disney, magical world of Disney. Just watching this was just unsettling. It's just one layer after another, like the guts, then the bones, then the skin, then the fur just starts building up. And just like, I would have been Mikey. I would have just been vomiting in the corner of my treehouse as soon as I'm seeing this. And they're like, oh, we love each other. We're awesome. And now, of course, he's visible. He doesn't need the kid anymore. He's like, I gotta go home. And the kid spends like 10, 15 minutes just going, Fuzzbucket! Across town. I think it might have been Inglewood. I'm not sure. And then out into the woods, just screaming, Fuzzbucket! It just sounds like a junior high kid screaming like bad profanity for 10, 15 minutes. It's a little unsettling. The top of his lungs. Fuzzbucket! Yeah, and the kid questions Fuzzbucket's motives the whole time for like, hey, I need you to make me visible. Now you make me visible. Bye. And you can't come with me because boys don't belong where I'm going. And the whole time he's just like, look, yes, we don't have your own cartoons here. You have to live underground. You have to like eat roots. And by the way, he's not the only Fuzzbucket. There's like other ones. They have other names. Of course, one of them's named Stinky. But wow, yeah. There are mole, possum, rat people living under LA. That's all I can tell you. And from the way everything was shot, it looks like they shot it in February of 1986. Just by the decorations in the store windows look like Valentine's Day. And yeah, that's all. I don't know why I went down that path, but it just looks like that was a weird observation I made. But beyond that, the movie didn't make a whole lot of sense. It's cute in a way, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. If you want to find one of the weirdest things, seriously, one of the weirdest things that you can find on Disney Plus, Fuzzbucket. Just by the name should be the tip-off. I mean, Case Busters by Clive Barker. Wasn't Clive Barker? Yeah. I can't remember. We watched Case Busters way back. And by the way, Mr. Boogedy. Like Mr. Boogedy, Case Busters, and these are all like episodes of that era, and they're all science fiction fantasy episodes that lend itself to being experimental, and that's commendable. You could see their influences from Gremlins to even Goonies to the E.T. and everything else that are wrapped up in this thing. So it's a kind of weird nod to all that stuff. But man, Fuzzbucket's creepy to me. At least his becoming visible. That was worth it just to see that happen and go, wow. So yeah, that's Fuzzbucket. Can we get weirder on Disney Plus? I think we can, but we'll have to see. We'll see what what brings up here for tomorrow. 427. That seems like we've had that. We get a lot of 400s now. It used to be 3 and 600s. Oh, yeah. I know what this is. And it's not available, so we're going to do another search, but I'm going to show you what it is. Excuse me. We had 427 recently come up. It's part of the Pirates of the Caribbean. Dead Men Tell No Tales, and it is not due until December 20th of this year. So we cannot do that. So let's... No. What are you doing? Come back. Technology. Anyway, let's pick another number. Why does it love 427 so much? It's like the third time I think we've had that. 167. Did we just have this? Come on. Don't tell me. This is just picking the same few numbers. 167. No, we didn't have it. We didn't have it. It's series. 167 is new. I don't know what it is. But here we are. 167. Fast Lane. Fast Lane. And it's a series. Disney Channel series, more than likely. I'm imagining it's live action. There might be driving, fast driving. I don't know. We'll see. I could be completely wrong, as I often am. But yeah, so we have Fast Lane on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. We'll see you back here tomorrow.